It's been a long time. Ooh. We shouldn't have left you without a dope beat to step two. Step two.
Oh, bitch, rip up out the motherfucking plastic, bitch.
We been put a ribbon on him.
Brand fucking new. I was Booth playing with my pussy, but let me stop.
Get into it.
We're back.
And we're better. You want you bad as ever. Not the musical. We giving them song after song. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Reality King, where we put the real, the trill, the mill. In reality, I am your host, Pharaoh. We are joined by our host, Lee.
What?
Lee, how you doing? We are joined by a wonderful co-host, Lee. Lee, how you
I'm doing good. Because see, some of the girls, it's been a while since y'all saw me. Because y'all know Pharaoh, he's been getting his little discussions going.
Get into him.
Businessman.
Get into him.
But I'm back. I miss you guys. We're here. Big Brother season is still a month away.
Period. It's still going to be a while. But we're here.
No, think about it. That should have been a video.
Yeah.
Why the fuck
Where is Big Brother?
Let's get into that real quick.
Where is Big Brother? Y'all, August.
August what?
Bitch, I thought it was a summer show. A summer thing.
Bitch, it's
they said we're going to push it to fall.
What Sheree said? Summer, spring. September, spring. She said she will be released.
Y'all, Big Brother 25 is going to come at the end of Final Jam.
At the end of Final Jam.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be in August. We will be here in the meantime every single Tuesday. When Big Brother starts, we will be here every single Tuesday.
Yes.
We're going to be all here. Big Brother Tuesdays with us.
Period. BBT.
Don't
get confused with BBC.
The network or the... Okay. So yes. We will be here every Tuesday to cover Big Brother, starting with our off-season. Y'all, this is the first episode of our off-season content or whatever.
First episode. And definitely leave suggestions below. Give us some ideas.
What y'all want to hear?
What y'all want to see us talk about?
Period. What do y'all want to hear us talk about? Because, girl, it's giving anything. I'm not going to lie.
We will do whatever.
We will literally do whatever.
Do whatever you want.
Period. So get into that. Also get into the discussions. Discussions are going to be coming periodically throughout this preseason. Also, I already had one with Big D, Big Delicious, Big Daddy. So go ahead and check Big Daddy Delicious.
Shout out to the Royal Kingdom.
Period. So go check that out if you haven't seen it. Me and had a good conversation. Some of the girls liked the combo. Some of the girls didn't like the combo. That's fine.
Yeah. But it's okay. That's what the discussion is for. That's what the discussion is for. You don't have to agree. What Jessica Milagro say? Girl, agree
to disagree. Amen.
This is the move. And we move. But go leave a like and comment. Sure.
A dislike, maybe. Anything.
Black businesses. Invest in Pharaoh's pussy. Support black business.
Period. Every black boy needs a little love. But if you don't see the title of this episode, I'm going to tell you. Bitch, it's Big Brother 24 a year later, girl. Because it's been a year. A good
girl. Go back.
A back one.
To July of 2022.
Ooh. Girl, do I want to? Now that I'm thinking about
Well, actually, first of all, let's actually fast forward again.
Okay.
Present day. You know, a year later, how do you feel about the overall season? Because, me and Pharaoh, we differ on this.
That's true.
So how do you feel very controversial season. Mm-hmm. We had to drag us down to the entire cast. Mm-hmm. They don't fuck with us.
Mm-hmm. And they shouldn't. I
wouldn't fuck with us either, but did they deserve it? Yes. Do I stand on what I said? Unfortunately, I do.
I said what the fuck I said, actually.
I did.
I meant it. I'm sorry.
But how do you feel about it after? Is this a top tier season for you?
So for me, I know there's a lot of people have different thoughts, but for me, the season overall, it relies on how I felt. Mm-hmm. And how I felt was unhappy, upset, most of the time. Actually, the entire time until the end of Final Jam. And because of that, for me, the season's not giving. I don't like anything about it.
But that's why I just feel like you have to look at the season in retrospect. going back to that season, I mean, yes, the hardships of witnessing everything that Taylor went through. I mean, the colorism, the racism, the misogyny, the insecurities, the bullshit. I mean, it was a lot. But I just think in retrospect, knowing that she comes out the end as the winner, it does make me feel like the season overall as a whole is just like, for me, a top tier season. I think it could be recency bias in general, especially with the new era seasons. I really like them because of the added diversity. But I do think BB24 is a top tier season because, I mean, I think the twists were good. I think the strategy was great. I think that the house dynamics, the alliance structures, the outcome. You know me, I love a good fairy tale ending. And the princess won.
Period.
What more could you ask for? That's like Princess Peach being saved from Donkey at the end. Not Donkey, Bowser at the end.
I know what you meant. I don't know. For me,
but she saved herself. Period. Like, I don't tell you.
I don't want to be like Cinderella.
So for me, like, it's like, I get what you're saying because living it, but
living it.
I have short-term memory loss and I have Stockholm syndrome. So those two combined with a good outcome, you know, I'm able to, you know, I feel good about it. Yeah. But I do think that transfers a little bit into the players too, because there's a difference.
Okay.
I don't necessarily still care for the people.
And you know what?
I do think the season was a great statistically. If you put BB24 in like write it down, you know, you're not seeing this black woman get berated. You know, you may read it here and there. It's a good season. Like what happens, the power shifts and things like that, the alliance structure. It's a great season. But you know, once you put everything else into it, it's like, okay, the people.
And that's the thing. I'm a character person. I'm a people person. So for me, when I am assessing a TV show, a movie, I care about the characters or the people. Bitch, I don't like none of them. But Taylor. And I love Taylor.
And Joseph.
Sure. But no, I like Joseph too. But I love Taylor. And the rest is like, okay. No, it's actually bad. And that's the issue. It's like they're literally terrible. It was like all of them were terrible. Joseph was okay, and Taylor was mother. And for me, it's just the overall
like huge gaps.
Huge gaps. And so for me, a person who cares about like the characters of it all, girl, I couldn't get into it, yeah.
But do you feel like, I mean, would you want to see any of these people come back again? I know some of the girls, since BB24, a lot of the girls have become Amira stans, Jasmine stans. Nobody from this season want to come, other than Taylor, nobody.
Taylor don't even want to come back, so she can stay home.
No, she said she'd do it again now.
Oh, yeah, she did.
She did. She's
just Taylor.
BB30.
Just Taylor.
I feel like I would want to see Michael play again. Especially if it was a returning season with Taylor. He kept my sister out.
Okay, I'll get honestly, he can keep it.
I kind of agree.
Like if let's say hypothetically they were like, you know what, we're not getting no BB24. I'm not gonna be angry. Are y'all gonna be upset?
No, not really. It sucks because it's a situation where it's like I feel like, but that's the thing. But that's where the conversation gets interesting because I felt like leaving BB24 because of how they treated Taylor, the entire cast would be ostracized by the BB community and the show itself. Because the last two problematic seasons, the big ones we know, well, the big three we know is BB9, BB15, and BB21. And those seasons are dead to BB US. They don't mention them, they don't talk about them, they don't bring them up ever, and they don't bring any returnees from them, other than Nicole on All Stars, and we saw how it turned out.
She should have stayed.
So I think I'm looking at, I'm like, honestly, I thought that they were going to get the same exact treatment, and now knowing that, you know, for the girls who don't know, Alyssa and Amira and Monty were on the Challenge USA. And then also when it comes to the BB community, they are well entrenched in it. So it's just like, I think if there is going to be returning seasons, it's not going to be an ostracizing of that season like they do with the other problematic ones. I think it's kind of like, because of the outcome, because of Taylor winning, it's like, we can just forgive the rest. And I don't know how I feel about that fully. Like, I didn't need Amira, Monty, or Alyssa on my screen. Damn sure didn't need Alyssa on my screen again. But I did. And
she's the least problematic one. I was
like, girl, honestly, I was just like, she's boring. Like,
she is.
So that's why I had to say her first. But then I heard Monty now. I was like, no, that's not gonna go. My thing is, Amira, I feel like her redemption would have been the challenge. And for the girls who know, first. So, I mean, hey.
I I don't know. Like when it comes to the whole like Amira thing, a lot of people love Amira now. Literally, it's like I said it, and I was like, "Is that true?" And it's like that's kind of true. A lot of people genuinely want to see Amira again.
Alyssa, the girls love.
They love Alyssa. They're changing their
pictures. People actively hate still is Monty and Daniel.
Yuck.
Which I will say they deserve it.
Yucky poo.
So everyone else,
and it's like what had happened was after Big Brother 24. After Big Brother 24, we got some information that apparently all the girls went to Taylor. They apologized. Not all. A lot of the girls, they did go to Taylor. They reached out. They apologized. They took accountability in some ways for what occurred during the season. So after that, I feel like it relieved a lot of people from feeling obligated to hate them. And I feel like a lot of people at first felt obligated to hate them. And now they're kind of just like, well, Taylor forgave them. You know, there you go. How do you feel about how do you feel about the people, and do you feel like how do you feel about the people? Basically,
well, I think specifically with the BB community, at the end of the day, they've played the game, and me and you, we had a discussion off the podcast. They've played the game before, so when they tell us it's a different dynamic, like you guys don't understand it, you have to listen a little bit because they do have that firsthand basis. Bias. It is a bias. They play together. They have a unity in that way. And you'll never be able to understand that. And it makes me think like, if I was in that situation, would I be able to? Because it is easy for me to sit up here and say, I would never talk to the bitches. But if I played a whole season with them and I see them at a different event or I don't know. Because I can be friendly in person, but I'm also very much like specific on who I want to be seen in public with. But clearly conversations were had. I always saw it as for Taylor, she's forgiving these people for herself. She's forgiving these people because you don't need to hold on to all of this negative energy, all of these things that these people, you don't hold on to that. You forgive for yourself, to let go, to release yourself. And that's why I thought Taylor did. But it seemed like, I mean, like I said, everyone's just forgiving.
Yeah. I don't know. For me, you know, what other people are going to do, they're just going to do. It comes to a point where it's like you can't really judge people for what they're gonna do. They're gonna do it anyway. Who gives a fuck? They're gonna do it anyway. I do want to say sorry. I want to say I'm also not saying we should be 24/7 dragging any of these people, because if you check our Twitters, we haven't talked about them either. I actually forgot about them.
But that's our point. We forgot about them. We didn't start standing them. The girls who started standing them, it's like, okay, like we don't like, it's the revisionist history. I don't like that. I don't like how we all witnessed this entire season. Because that's the thing. I can excuse the BB people who gotta see these people in the streets.
Yeah.
You motherfuckers that's on Twitter who are in the streets with us this entire time, you
don't know
what it like. The evidence is there. You don't know them.
You don't know them. They didn't apologize to you. They didn't have a conversation with you. And that's the thing. Like, I at a point when it comes to the other BB community, how they feel, what they doing, there's nothing I can say to change that. That's on them. They're doing what they want to do. Congratulations. If it was me, I don't know if I would be doing that because that didn't happen to me. When it comes to the fans, bitch, it's never given I stand. Like, until I have a conversation with Amira or Jasmine or whoever, and then I feel comfortable with it, that's when that can happen. But other than that, I don't know these people. And y'all don't know them. And I feel like there's nothing they've done for y'all to just come around on it. And that's what's weird.
Right. Like, that's what I'm not saying hate them for life, but what have they done?
But what did they do?
You know.
Frozen for me or frozen for you? Or not frozen at all?
Frozen? I'm not frozen.
Girl, he gone.
I'm here. Hello?
Now you here. Either I wasn't here or you wasn't here.
Girl,
but one of us.
I don't know, but we were both on my end. And we back and then. But so how do you feel about Taylor overall as just a winner? How she represents this season and how she's added to the other, how many goddamn winners?
Them
29, 30, 40.
Them 30. Okay, because you know when the season first happens.
Let me put up our winner ranking real quick for BBUS.
When the season first happens, there's a totally different opinion that you have as time goes on.
Yeah, recency bias is
I feel like for Taylor, the only like difference in opinion I might have had was maybe how high I gave her as a player, like a rating. But other than that, when it comes to impact as a winner,
let me get that too.
When it comes to the overall opinion,
we both gave her an 8. I remember that we both ended with an 8.
I thought we both ended with an 8.
Stick with that, bro. 7.5, 7.
I think I would just give her 7.5, which ain't that bad for
7
me.
8, yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like honestly not much has changed with Taylor. I feel like with her, the prowess in which she won, like the story in which she won, it's hard to like waver. I feel like I loved it then and I love it now. I feel like her story alone really shoots her up. Not me, only what 2-3 winners like Will, Dan, and Taylor have won with being hated the entire time. Rachel, not really. She had a whole lot. Really, only like 2 or 3 winners have won with the entire cast hating them at some point, damn near. And Taylor's one of them. So it's like, it's for me, she's always going to be at the top. She's always going to be a high standard when it comes to a winner. So I'm still loving it.
Yeah. And I'm looking at our past top 15 because we don't have just a US. We mixed a full North American. Mm-hmm. And taking out some of the BB Can players we have in this top 15, I would definitely say she's top 15 easy.
Period.
I think she's top 15 BBUS winner easy.
Period.
Just like you said too, like the prowess. I mean, the endurance, the emotional and psychological. I mean, Big Brother is a psychological game. You know, that's what it is. And I just think for someone to have to go in that experience and just be honestly just treated like a dog, frankly, the entire fucking time, all the way up into goddamn final 2, you know, and be able to change these people's mind in the way she did, still stand strong. I mean, resilient. I mean, bitch, literally to this day, I will get me a good nasty blunt and go watch Taylor's speech, like for real. Like, that is just like, and that's why I feel like this season, Taylor's win, it's like I can put it high for me because that feeling of like, oh my God, I can go back and watch this moment. Like I have gone back and watched her speech. I've watched her questions. I watched the entire finale episode just to see her win.
Period.
Several times. I did the same. I've done it when, honestly, Tiffany has won American Favorite Player. Xavier won. The Cookout made top 6. Like, I love those moments that these newer seasons are bringing us that makes me go back and watch. Because I never used to do that. I never used to do that with Big Brother. Once my fave went home, girl, catch me next season.
Literally. Maybe. Period. Let's get... I don't want to get into it.
Let's relive the season a little bit.
Right.
So basically, we just want to kind of go over some of the bigger moments, like, you know, how we were feeling back then.
Yeah.
How we're feeling now.
And it's like, is the feeling going to change? I feel like, let's just get into it. So, first of all, let's discuss the beginning of the season, which was just the infamousness of it. It's just terrible. The treatment, the mistreatment.
I feel like the entire first era, like that.
I hate this so much. I'm gonna cry.
I remember us making that video, just like
go watch that
video. Enraged. I mean,
literally
like pissed the fuck off because for the girls who didn't know, like we unfortunately predicted it because when a bad bitch is in the room, bitches get nervous.
Girl, yeah.
And Taylor, like it just radiates. You know what I mean?
It screams,
like,
that
it radiates. I mean,
like,
she came in with the what was this? I don't know what color it was. The mint gown. Well, I don't know what the gown was. The mini skirt. I didn't know what the fuck. The long legs, the heels, the strut.
She's just minding her business.
Like, mind you, just minding her business, being
and everyone else was minding it too.
Like I literally remember this girl. I remember this girl was leaked pre-season, scared she was gonna get kicked off the show because girls didn't leak the name.
God, Lord.
Like that's the gag. Taylor Mackenzie Hale is the first house guest we knew of, and then she ended up winning the whole entire thing. Like I just feel like she's so iconic.
It was written in stars.
Like, I just want to know, like, honestly, like, who is her guardian angel? Because girl, can someone over here? Because this girl, like. That, like, I just feel like her legacy was just so, like, no one could have written it better, honestly. Like, we watched cinema, and she came out, like, she was the final girl, literally. It was a horror movie, and she's the final girl.
Literally. Yeah, it was just that, a horror movie. Honestly, when it goes back to the beginning of that season where they were just all talking out of the side of their necks, their mouths, I try to forget it. And looking back at it, it's even worse. Like honestly, I was like, I wonder how I feel.
Now, after knowing everything and seeing how everyone's come around, it's just like
what? I feel I just
it's a complete 180. And we watched it happen through the season, but like even a year later, it's just like, ooh.
Mm-hmm. It sucks to talk about because it's like, these people have tried to move on. They've tried to apologize, and I get all that. Love all of that. Love all of that for them.
Like I said, we're not telling anyone to go drag. We're not going to get up here and go drag.
We're not. I'm not adding none of them. I don't, it's not giving that. I just feel like, did it get, because we always got to ask, did it give a full 180 because she won? Did it give a full 180 because the audience didn't agree?
Well, and I think, I ain't going to bring that up, but it's just, it's just, because people have said that before. Like, honestly, I can't say it. Tiffany has said before she doesn't feel like the Cookout Man would have necessarily forgiven her if she didn't come out and get all of the respect she did. She openly said that, and it's like, that's true. A lot of times, you're not scared until you got caught, and honestly, it's hard for me to see it any other way. But back to, I'm on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
You don't know we don't know those personal conversations they've had, and it is what it is. But
yeah, and honestly, it's hard.
It's a huge, like, to me, it's just a huge 180. It really is. But we don't, it's opposed to, we went from being able to see 100% of their conversations to now none. We don't know any of those personal conversations they had with Taylor. And if Taylor's mature enough to forgive them, that's great. But like I said, I feel like that was more of an internal forgiveness. Not I'm gonna be bestie hang out.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, like, it's hard to just carry hate for so long. Honestly, I just don't care about it. Like, at the moment, I was very upset. It was hurtful. Even to me, just watching for Taylor, I was hurting for Taylor. But now it's like, it's been so much time, and I feel like looking back, it's still, looking back at it, it feels still so bad what was happening. But when it comes to the emotion of it all, I can't just carry it on. Like, if they're
I'm definitely not as
they're being
about it
better than they're being better. A lot of people they like to say, oh, it's when you're in that house, you're different. It's a little bit of different environment. Sure, Dan. Yeah. But hey, if that's how they felt and now they're doing better, great. At least they're still not being horrible people. At least now they'll be held accountable. Exactly. They've been held accountable. Now they can't do it no more. So grateful for all of that.
And that's why I feel like I will say, it's like, I know for a fact they didn't just get with these people, and that's what I'm saying. Like I said, back to, I'm not judging anyone in the BB community necessarily, because I know conversations had to have been had. There's no way you came out of that situation and didn't have those conversations. But like,
and some didn't. And that's the thing. Now that I'm thinking about it,
the ones who didn't, they're weird.
I'm talking about the ones who I'm talking about the majority of the cast who actually did go out of their way to reach out to Taylor.
Because there are a few who did.
But honestly,
because specifically too, like I remember, it's like Jasmine, her whole preseason thing was, Taylor girl, look, I am sorry.
Yeah. After the season,
and she went to podcast after podcast. She was literally arguing her case. I mean, Paloma was lying on her ass. She said, "Paloma, baby, I don't know why you doing that."
Yeah.
So she came out guns blazing, like, I am so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, a lot of people, they did take that accountability. But
I respect that way more, considering there's people who didn't. I respect that a lot, because girl, Daniel, Rat Ass, and Terrence, and there's people who came out and they still wasn't giving, they still didn't go out of their way to apologize or recorrect or anything. They're just terrible people. And it's like, when it comes to those people, they're just terrible people. Honestly, like, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, they're just very terrible people. Not much attention needs to be given to them. But it's just like, when I'm speaking about the people who I feel like, okay, they did whatever they need to do, it's not including those weirdos. Period. Point blank.
But yeah, I mean, it was really crazy. And then, I mean, another crazy thing early that season, Palolo's exit. Which, and like I really sat and thought about, like, it's insane. Because she had to quit. Like, her leaving is considered her quitting.
Yeah.
The girl was having a manic episode. Like, I've had a personal situation with someone close to me that like, that's, it's a very close experience now.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way Paloma should have been in that house in the middle of a manic episode.
At all.
Like, honestly,
that's insane.
Like, seeing it insane. In a closer way, it's like, for everyone's mental health in that house, everyone's safety in that game, it's scary how long they let Paloma spiral before allowing her to leave. And it makes me go back to people like Sam and BB20, when she was literally telling them she's about to rip their heads off and kill them, and they recorded it and posted it everywhere for her to be made fun of. Like, it's just like, it's terrifying. It's like, do y'all not care about some of these people for real? That girl should have been taken out of the game. Like, will it mess up your show that much for this girl to leave?
Literally.
The girl was not, because I remember her walking around, I can't sleep. She wasn't talking game anymore. She was literally talking in circles, calling herself God. I mean, first of all, 81 symptoms from a manic episode. Everyone on the timeline was able to clock it.
Yeah.
So I know they were able to clock it. She had to speak to a psychologist.
Yeah.
She spoke to a psychologist. They diagnosed her, and they were like, it's fine.
Well, we'll just keep going.
Or they were like, that's the thing. They tried to get her to go to sleep. But it's like, she was in the manic going to sleep. Can't go to sleep.
In the house, in the Big Brother house, please. I feel like it was very careless, and Big Brother we've always heard stories about how people have tried to leave and they didn't let them. Why are you not letting them? That was always a part of the game. The whole point was, are you able to stay in this house? Good luck. So I feel like, honestly, they need to definitely be careful about that, because that could have went totally wrong. Y'all got lucky that it didn't. Like, y'all are lucky she decided to go out of her way to continuously ask to quit. Because from what we heard, she had to continuously ask. At first, y'all was trying to put her back, and she was like, and it's like, why is she asking y'all? She was barely able to even function at that point. So it was very unfortunate what occurred. Does that excuse her being weird? No,
definitely not.
And a lot of people,
she definitely did not come out the house and learn
at all. And a lot of people try to mix the two situations, and they're not the same. People who are having that type of problem aren't always just going to be terrible people. She just happened what she was. Yeah, a terrible person.
Like, and that's what it is. It's like even she, like, it's like essentially, I don't like when things are used as an excuse. I mean, we all have our different disabilities and things like that, honestly, and not all of them are excuses for our behavior. Not every person with bipolar disorder is going to be a terrible person that is turning the house on the back wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just not going to happen in every situation. So it's that's the thing. But her ass, she didn't come out, like I said, she didn't come out and learn a lick, because she went from me and Taylor are friends, so Taylor actually bullied me. Like, we didn't have live feeds. Like, girl, I'm happy that era is over with. That was
so weird. Can't even get into that. I can't even really get into it, because one of the next big moments was when Daniel and Nicole, the game had flipped around a little bit.
I mean, at least this led to something positive.
Right, because before the leftovers were created, it was kind of sparked by Daniel and Nicole going off on Taylor, real crazy, like specifically Daniel, a man. And honestly, there's just not. I'm gonna be real.
And we got the "Where's the Lays" moment, so it's like it's crazy. Like, all of these negative experiences were just gifting her throughout. Paloma's exit. Boom, you're safe, babe. Don't even have to worry about it. Next.
Wait for Taylor to continue to be queen. I don't know. There's not much I have to say. Like, actually, I have nothing to say about that, man.
Yeah, no. I don't even want to give him any attention.
Boom. Next.
Where's the Lays? The Lays? But, that blow up led to, like I was saying earlier, like, one of the biggest things was
the leftovers
forming. Coup. And I just feel like this type of dynamic in Big Brother, like I said, you really just don't see that. The upending of an entire alliance and the building of a new one. And then what I really enjoyed about BB24 in comparison to BB23 is just that the different type of strategy in alliance building we got, because they tried to do the whole cookout thing with the original Mamba 6 that then turned into Paloma's pack. But Leftovers was the true group. But it wasn't like it was a huge group, but it wasn't like a Clan Midi or Derek big group. It was unique in its own. And it's like they had a different structure and a different strategy. And it was just like, I'm really nice. I'm very hopeful for how every season of Big Brother is going to go.
Gameplay wise, it was very interesting. It was definitely interesting gameplay of it all, which sucks that it was, for me at least, like, just tainted with all of this negativity. Because gameplay wise, the way the structure was uprooted, and even the way the twist led into the structure uproot, because when the Leftovers was created, they were in the Festy Bestie situation where everyone was linked to a partner or whatever, and the original Paloma's pack had made sure they chose someone who wasn't in the alliance. And it's like they went into that situation thinking, oh, we're never going home because half of our alliance is with the other half of the house. And then Amira goes home with that structure. And it was kind of because of that structure. They couldn't put up Nicole because Nicole was next to Taylor. They needed Taylor's vote. So Amira had to go up. And it's like, ooh, I got your ass nasty.
Got her nasty. And I remember
it sucks, but it was like, damn.
I remember the girls were so mad. Like, I will say that's another thing too. Like, I'm enjoying the twist because they're being gang, but because it's not like everyone's playing, I feel like, optimally in these newer seasons. Yeah. So it's like they're being game, but it's like people are wanting to do what they want with them. So it's like it's going in different areas because like they had immediately gamed that twist. But I felt it. I was like, Paloma's package not staying together. Yeah. After the way Nicole and Amira talked to Monty and Kyle that week before, I was like, there's no way in hell they're gonna want to work with them. And it was easy after that. Leftovers 4.
It's just, and this is the thing. Every situation that was in a way positive, it's just like followed up by a negative for me because sure, Paloma had to leave, so Taylor stayed, but then it was like they were still going after her, and then the Fessy Bessie was like,
but them still going after her, caused the leftovers.
Like it was
the leftovers form, and then the thing is though, let's walk it back though, right? The leftovers form. How happy were we? Oh my God.
Just looking back, it's like, I know what happens next.
Girl, I woke up. I was like,
the next morning.
God.
That was amazing.
Oh my God. I remember watching the conversation with Turner, Turner and his men, who were running the week. And it's like they were just creating the plan, and it was just coming together. It was just so beautiful to watch because it's like, finally, we don't have to stress. We don't have to worry. Like, they're going to just win everything because this is a stacked alliance. This was a stacked group. It's like, okay, they're going to top 9. Boom. And of course they weren't. But, like, I didn't think I'd have to worry the very next week. Goddamn. Like,
very next week, girl. Because immediately. Immediately. Yeah. As soon as it was formed.
Kyle was like,
Kyle said, it's getting a little dark over here. Kyle was very much so, The Little Mermaid it's a little dark.
It's a little dark.
That's my only complaint about the movie. The movie was just a little, the lighting.
The lighting. The color.
It's just not as, the original just had a little bit, it was a little brighter.
More comfortable.
Yeah, more comfortable. Safe. So Kyle got uncomfy.
Bland. Milk toast.
This is my thing on Kyle. For me, he would have had to come out of the house and he would have had to disregard all of those fans. He did not do that. He embraced them. He said, "Come here, guys who love me because I'm racist."
What? And it's like, I don't know the detail because I do.
He didn't dismiss them.
He didn't dismiss them, but I don't know. I don't want to connect two things that shouldn't be because I know for a fact when he first came out, he like went dead for a while, and then he randomly popped up on TikTok. Yeah. I wouldn't say that all those little girls on TikTok that's watching him is necessarily
definitely
racist
not.
That supported him from Big Brother. But he grew a lot.
He gained a lot of followers.
True.
He gained a lot of followers on his platforms.
I don't see any active like I don't want you people on.
And he hasn't actively denounced it, at least to me. And you're you're on social media. I feel like for me, and that's the thing. You're right. Everybody, you can have your own opinion about it. For me, the only way I would have felt cool with him is if he would have actively denounced any racist, period. And I don't see the clip.
The thing is, I'm not shocked because I didn't expect it. And I remember at the time when all of the shit was happening, people were saying what they were saying about him. People were calling him KKK, Split Clan, all this other stuff. And people were saying it's really dangerous because for some reason, people think it's so dangerous to call racist people racist. Like, I'm sorry, I'm going to call a spade a spade. You call a duck a duck. I'm going to do that. So that's what we were doing. And people were like, we don't know how this is going to affect him. And I had said, this is a man, all of 30 years old, living in his mother's basement, famous for being on TikTok. He's a white male in America.
It's not going to affect
him. This is not going to affect him.
It'll help him how it did. It catapulted all of his social media.
Exactly what happened.
Because
none of the things that we were saying, anyone was saying, matters. We should have went harder, in my opinion. Yeah. Honestly.
That nigga is famous. He has the most subscribers of anybody.
So it's just like, and then kind of go, and that, when we go into forgiving the cast, it makes me feel like, well, Kyle can pop up on our screens one day. CBS could pop Kyle back on there. I mean, he was top 3 American favorite, and all of that going into it too is like top 3 American favorite player with the environment that we're in right now. It's just like, ugh. Because like I said, like I saw through that. Like I'm sorry I didn't feel bad because I knew how he was going to be able to bounce back because of his privilege. And look at him now. Not
everybody needs grace.
That's the thing.
Not everybody needs grace.
Did y'all think it was going to affect Kyle when Aaron Greaves is walking around here, a popular influencer, her damn self, living her best life? These people do not get affected like that. Like, y'all have to realize, like, and that's what it comes down to. The Big Brother community is a small community among several others. With him coming from that TikTok environment, he was never going to be affected. He was already viral over there. Most of them niggas didn't even know what Big Brother was, probably.
Like, he is shit good. And, like, everybody don't need grace. And I'm not saying be evil to everybody. Actually, you shouldn't be evil or mean to anybody. You should don't give a fuck. Just don't give, like, if something's happening, hold them accountable. Afterwards, you don't gotta fucking send them death threats and all of that shit. I just feel like, also, everybody don't need grace. You don't gotta go out of your way to, well, I don't hate Kyle anymore.
Yeah, I just hate when it's like, I just hate the person that's like,
you don't have to know.
Guys, maybe we should. No.
It's not necessary in every instance, in my opinion. I feel like there are some times where it's okay, but I feel like Kyle's situation was an instance where he needed to have a consequence for his actions, and he kind of got rewarded for it. So, yeah. Boom. After this, we had to split house. It ate, but I hated it. I hate Twist. I'm never gonna get behind Twist. I'm never gonna get behind the Twist.
I'm sorry. Look, it was camp, and I really hope this returns. Like, what I would like for the BB, because everyone knows BB 25, BB quarter 12 is coming up. I would love if they started a season like this for like 2 weeks, just 2 weeks.
I don't want it.
Like, I think it would be kind of camp. Because even though, regardless of how Twist turns out, I do like the aspect of just throwing something in there to like make them have to deal with. And like I said, it's working in these newer seasons. I feel like in a way that I mean, my faves aren't going home. Some of y'all lost Joseph. At the point, I was only there for Taylor. No shade, Daddy Joseph.
Yeah. Hey, the only frustrating part about the Joseph thing was the racism behind it.
Exactly.
Like it was mostly because
Kyle's,
or at least some. Yeah, it was a lot. So. That was interesting. I'm not a fan of Twist. Don't like them. So for me, it can stay at home and it can never come back, and I would be fine with it. But even in the season, I didn't like it. I'm not gonna lie. Like it didn't gag me. It didn't gag me.
The thing is, I feel like I liked the like Kyle getting paranoid and exposing the leftovers lines. That was really interesting.
That was a lot.
See if Joseph was gonna figure it out. We had the wall yeller at that time. Just put half the fees down the entire fucking time.
Yeah.
We also are seeing Taylor working her jury management. I mean, the week before she had just worked into the girl she took out into going home saying, "I love Taylor."
She did it again with Jasmine.
She's sitting in the house.
Joseph going to jury was great for her.
Joseph was going great for her. So I mean, this was a great week. That's why I was like, I didn't give a damn because my sister made it out alive.
And well, actually, that was really, really good. Honestly, I just don't like the Twist, but it was good times during the season. I will say it was low.
It kind of got weird. It kind of got bad because basically from the split house they went back into the game a split house. Like it was so weird.
Giving you us versus us.
Everyone
that was
said,
so weird.
Fuck the leftovers. Kyle is paranoid as hell. Kyle paranoid ass said, "Fuck as close as how I am, Michael." And I was like, we're going after them. And it was bad because I was like, child, Taylor may go. There are so many moments. It's like, oh, Taylor's hit.
Yeah.
Because when you're rooting for someone that you honestly just, frankly, did not think had a chance to win, considering the circumstances, when a situation happens, it's like, well, this is it. I mean, the girl has been, like, feels like getting left.
It's been she's gotten a lot of passes. It felt, and she just kept getting. It never happened. But no, when they came back, they was after that. It was side versus side, and then Turner asked one the HO. Did he?
Turner, it was.
You never really know what man it was when it's Turner HOH.
Well,
Turner, but really Kyle won that HOH, but really not Kyle because it was really Michael. It was a lot.
Well, no, Michael won the veto, the diamond power veto. That's the game,
girl. Because this is when Michael decides that he is now President
Pro
Biden.
BLM.
Like he's now the head honcho of the anti-racism allegiance. Like he is BLM down. Like it is giving Michael BLM burner. It was killing it. But not really. Because where were you at? Nah, but this is what I'm saying.
This was
like
crazy.
Good happened, but
like,
something bad happened, but something good happened. Because even this moment is the epitome of the season for me. It's good stuff happening around bad shit. It's like ill. It was just ill. Yuck.
Yeah, because this week, but also just like another interesting week for just a social commentary, honestly. Because we see this week, Michael, whether you agree with it or not, because he's the target this week, he wins veto, and he realizes that, I mean, now it's time to try and take out Kyle for the things that he said because Kyle turned on him. Kyle got him nominated that week and wanted to take him out. So Michael's like, well, I'm going to get my lick back. You need to get your lick back. And that's exactly what
he got a nasty lick back. What? That was the craziest lick.
That was a nasty lick. Looking like a
God. It's crazy because I just know Michael in the back of his head was like, I know this nigga is not trying to get me out because he knows what I know.
This is what sends me about Michael. He literally said that verbatim in the house. He come out of the house literally and was like, I mean, I didn't mean it like I had. Michael, you knew exactly what the fuck you meant by that.
You said it. You said it.
Yeah, it's okay. Like, honestly, looking at it, like I said, it's fucked up that he used race in that way. I lived for the outcome, so I wasn't too offended. Like, if the outcome, if Taylor still went home, I was like, fuck Michael, fuck Kyle, fuck Julie, fuck everybody. Yeah. But, I mean, you know, like I said, the outcome really helps a lot. But also, too, it's like, he did use race in that way. I mean, he used race the way Kyle used race. I mean, it worked for the better, but it's like, he used it when it was necessary.
Yeah. Convenient for you. It's weird. It's so weird because I've never experienced the Big Brother house and what I would do. I don't know, because I can never understand them using race, but I can understand the concept of I'm trying to win, I guess. Yeah. And it gets really conflicted with your morals all the time. We see it all the time at Big Brother. Bitches don't know what they want to do morally or what they want to do in the game. And I think that this is just the most extreme example. The most extreme example of how that can get, and it's like that's scary. That's
and at the end of the day, Michael being a white male at the end of the day, still, you know, he's gay. He's a public defense attorney. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure he's pro. All of the things need to be pro. Period. It's like he's still a white man at the end of the day. So it's like those things will not hit home the way it would do if it hit a black person. If a black person realized what was happening, you know, if they were privy to the information, they would have spread it that way quicker because it means more to them. At the end of the day, Michael could never understand the implications of that. He could show, he can have sympathy, but he really can't even have empathy. You know, you will never understand. You will never fully get it. And that's what it comes down to. Like, no matter how much people want to be allies and things like that, like, you know, at the end of the day, there's a limit to it. And and that's what sucks for some people because it's like you see things like this happen. It's like,
Yeah, it was weird. Sucks. It's just when it comes to it sucks, but white people, it's like there's just not understanding there, like you said, and it's hard.
I love the ones who do that. I love that.
It's so because I was just gonna say that because it's so hard for them to.
People, but it's just like I said, at the end of the day, it's always just that limit because you will never understand how it feels. Never really understand. Vice versa, I will never understand how it feels for a lot of other people. Yeah. Who go through the things that they go through for being a marginalized group because I'm not them.
Yep. Exactly. So that happened. After that, Kyle goes home.
But that, like I said, that entire week was crazy. So he goes to, who did he tell it to first? Did he tell the black people first?
He told the black people first.
And this week pissed me off because the feed, they didn't show any of it on feeds. Big Brother, if y'all are going to put blacks in the house, show black experience. Show them raw and uncut. Stop
show the real shit.
Because it had to be showed either way. Like, so it's just like I hate that because we missed out on that good social commentary. Yep. We had to pick and choose. I mean, there was a whole house meeting. Yep. And from my understanding, he told Taylor and Monty. Yep. They told Terrence separately. Yep. It got back to Kyle immediately. He literally Kyle saw Michael.
He told Alyssa that. Yeah, he got scared. He started
pacing. Yep. And then then he did say something to Alyssa.
Alyssa confirmed it. He told Alyssa last, and Alyssa confirmed it to Kyle because she was like, "What?" Because Alyssa was like, "You remember we're gonna break up? Because let's go ahead and do that." And he was like, "What they say? What they say?" And he made her tell him, and she told him kinda, and he was like,
And it's like, yeah. And so from my understanding, he went to the dining room, he came back out, he denied it. When he denied it, there was a moment, and Kyle explains this a little bit. There was a moment where in his denial, Terrence and Monty looked at him like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, this is the person we work with this entire game. Like, you're disgusting. Yeah. Because it was. Like, there was no basis on his decision. Monty was very loyal to him. Terrence was stupidly loyal to him. Yeah. Like There was no reason.
It
Like,
never
none of
made
the
sense.
black people or any of the minorities or any of the POC in the game were working together at all. And he made it up the entire time.
Yeah.
So
And
I
his
guess he
delulu
came to
head.
that realization.
Racist head.
And, you know, he came out, he admitted it, and then he asked to be put up and sent home.
Good.
Which is what happened, which was
Good.
great.
Then he went home. Bye.
That.
After this, we got into the end game. It was just still rocky for Taylor. Let's get into Miss Hoops, please.
Oh Lord,
let's get into Miss Hoops, Miss Cooks. I didn't mean it, but Miss Brittany was just very
the crack queen of the season. You know, you're always gonna have one.
You're always gonna get.
I love when they make it far, though. That's what I'm saying. Like
because it's weird because I like Brittany.
This archetype being in Final Four, that's hilarious.
Because
we were not like.
I do kind of like Brittany.
Who would have thought Brittany would have been in Final Four? It's like that's what I'm just loving about these different gameplay. It's opening up. It's allowing for different archetypes to go far. Yeah. So it is allowing for different scenarios. A player like Brittany in the Final Four. This girl is winning vetoes and things like this.
She won 3 veto. 3 or 4. 4. She won 4 vetoes. Like so, what?
It's like it gets really interesting.
Now you remember you asked me who could come back?
Hoops.
I love Brittany. I did. You remember I was capping for her? I was like, she could win.
I wouldn't mind seeing Brittany come back. It depends. Like, if it's BB30, Brittany can stay home. If it's, like, this season.
Next season? Go ahead, bring her.
Go bring her.
I don't want her. But if somebody had to come back, sure.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we need to fill a quota.
Anybody. We do. They need to fill it. I don't need to fill shit. But apparently CBS just needs.
They just need 50%. Because that's the gag. All the returnees so far have been POC, so I don't know how they're going to hit that 50% when it's time for a return.
Hopefully not. Hopefully they'll just choose not. Never mind.
They won't. They're going
to get Brittany Hoops and Michael Brunner.
They're going to make sure.
And maybe Kyle.
They probably will. That's the gag.
Unfortunately. Listen.
But this in-game got nasty. It
was just so weird. I couldn't even think of how to, like... Because Brittany and Taylor been working together the whole time. By the end of the end game, I guess Brittany was like, Taylor's going to win. She felt really concerned. It was so weird. I don't even know what the feeling was. It was kind of random. But she randomly felt like Taylor needed to go. And so there was a point where Taylor and Alyssa were nommed.
Yeah, so this week, basically,
Taylor and Alyssa were nommed.
Monty was the HOH, and he had put up Alyssa and Brittany. Brittany won that veto.
She got 8!
And so... This week, you know, there was some bonding.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Despite that bonding, Taylor was the renom. However, because of that bonding and Monty stating that he at this point wants to be at the end with a black woman, he's been saying he wasn't to get into with Amira, but you know, so he stays on that opinion, and you know,
it's so hard to believe it.
With the nominees being Taylor and Alyssa, basically the votes are Turner and Brittany. Mm-hmm. So it's giving. This is the week the winner could have went home. I was stressing out. Yeah. If y'all go back to that week, it was week 10. I was.
It's so funny because the whole podcast, I was like, I forgot who was on with us. Who was it? Hannah? Somebody was.
It was.
I don't remember. Can't tell you.
I almost said. It was Sal. It was Sal.
Oh, okay. Was it?
Yeah, it was Sal.
Okay. Well, I remember this whole time you and them, y'all were stressing.
Yeah.
About the fact, and I was like,
Brittany was pissing us off.
I was like, I think y'all are underestimating how much I know Turner. I don't know what sign Turner is, but I just knew. I know Turner. Turner's like me. He will do anything a man said. and like a man can tell him to sit down and shut up, and he will do it. And I remembered. You know what I just remembered? Turner had said something shady about Taylor on Twitter, and Taylor linked our video.
Clock that nasty ass. Quite literally.
I had to rewatch that. But Turner would do anything a man said. And I was like really confident about it that I wasn't even that worried. I remember I was not that worried. Because I was like, Turner's just gonna do what
I was stressed.
Why would he listen to Brittany?
Taylor is out.
A woman.
Brittany, you dumb girl. What's going on?
It was way better for Turner to evict Taylor because we see what happened. But he's a man told him what to do. And he did it. So that was really, really good. Honestly, shout out to Turner. Because every HOH, he said, I'm working for Taylor.
And you know what? One thing we kind of skipped over, I will say, Michael, since was on him. I mean, Comp Beast. I mean, the first person to tie Janelle's record. You saw my message.
Oh, yes.
Monty's the first person to tie Janelle's record since BB7, which is insane.
I forgot about
that. First of all, that's the thing. It's like he tied Janelle's record, but baby, you really can't compete because Janelle did that shit in like 10 weeks.
Yes,
5 days.
Like,
she had, and she did it with, it was 4 iterations and 5 POVs, and I think Michael has 6 POVs and 3 HOHs.
Yeah.
I think is what it was. And then, I mean, he got knocked out in that double by Monty.
That double was crazy. Let's talk about the double. Because, girl, what the fuck was you thinking? No, was it the week? It was like the week after when Kyle went home, Michael won the next HOH.
And he right before Terrence.
Right before the double. That nigga, I don't know what he was thinking, but it was.
He trusted Monty and Turner. And
it was easily giving non-Monty and Turner. He said, I can't take out Turner because Turner took out Kyle. Baby, that's not true.
Girl, fuck that deal. They made a deal. Turner made sure if he was going to get out his close allies, which I will say, hey, he ate that a little bit because they stuck to the deal. If he's going to take out Kyle for the house, then he has to be safe. And
if that was the case, you should have at least took out Monty because
Monty took him out.
Them combined is what got you out. That was the only way you could get out is if it was the both of them. And you let the both of them make it. I don't know what Michael was thinking. So when it came to Michael as a player, that's why when people are like, oh, he can come back. Which honestly, a lot of people don't say. A lot of people hate on him. And that's the thing. I'm conflicted because I feel like he gets over-hated. It's definitely not giving the hate that a lot of people give. Like, personally, sure.
I think that's what it is. I think what it is that a lot of people got turned off because of the race thing. And
which is justifiable.
That was it. A lot of people got turned
off because of the race thing.
A lot of people, honestly, a lot of black players and POC players who liked them, and a lot of the racist fans who ended up voting for Kyle didn't like him anymore because he got Kyle out. So it's like he's getting hate from both sides.
All ends.
Which is crazy.
Yep. So it's justifiable if y'all don't like him for that. But I feel like when it comes to y'all evaluating, I guess, because people are trying to say try to say he's like just so terrible, and it's like he's not that girl. Yeah. But honestly, I feel like it's just about what. But this moment is like, girl, what the fuck was you thinking? But he was so relevant in the season that it's hard to just disclude Michael, in my opinion. I feel like Michael is someone we had no choice but to talk about him. We had to have talked about him in this podcast because he was literally.
I mean, because the way he was just winning, I mean, back to back to back, it was like, damn.
It was real nasty.
So I was not mad.
Period. But that was just so stupid. It was so stupid. I was happy because I just didn't like Terrence. I didn't. I was happy for that, but it was like, girl.
But the thing is, though, he got so.
That was an amazing double.
By the way, amazing double. And because he's so competitive, you could just tell, like, it was clearly passion. Like, he was pressed.
Yeah.
Oh, he was so pressed. He was so pressed. But it's like, hey, girl, you did it yourself. He really did. Like, I don't know why he let both of them make it past that week. Because Terrence was not winning out one of them goddamn competitions.
When I'm trying to think back to, like, Big Brother doubles. And it only started, like, BB6, kind of. BB6, 7, I think, is when it started. And of the doubles that I remember watching, this was a good one. This was like up there. It was like maybe top 4.
I missed
underneath
it live,
underneath Janelle, give me that key, bitch. That was a double.
You know why I missed it?
Why you missed it?
Because I was like, I don't want to see my girl go home. I was like, every time I go to the double, I don't want to see it. I'm going to look. I remember I was a little bit sick that day. I was like, fuck it, I'm going to bed.
Period.
And my girl's here in the morning. God will be good, and God will good.
And God was good all the time. The only other doubles I feel like that would be above this was Give Me That Key Bitch was when Danielle and when Kalia and Portia ate up Jeff. Ate that nigga up. Other than that, I can't think of a memorable double like that.
Not really. I mean, a monumental double will be the cookout one.
Oh, that ate.
I was in tears.
That ate. But yeah, like there's not many.
Not really. Not really.
With the double.
But usually by the time it gets, because when they did the double right at jury, that one it was usually interesting because it was the change of the game. Usually, from the 16 to 19 era, by the time it got to that second double, when they started making them both later in the game, it was like, well,
I think Sam got out on the BB20 second double. It's like not Sam. It was Brett. It was actually Brett, and it's like. Sure. I don't know.
I actually like that one a little bit.
It was cute. It just didn't eat like that. I think y'all doubles need to be earlier in the game. The later in the game the double is, the less eventful it is.
It honestly needs to be a double pre-jury. Really shake
I
girls
agree.
up.
I agree. I'm like, girl, go ahead, get them out.
Double into jury. The last 2 rounds.
Start having 3 doubles. I love a double. And they just start. I hate it when they started doing it top 7. Who gives a fuck? I'm not even watching the season.
Well,
I guess nowadays I will, but
we double into 5 before. I think that's
what?
I don't like that.
I don't like that either. But
It was great because after Brittany tried to play in my sister's face, trying to listen to his man as he should, and my girl stayed, and then she won the Final Four HOH, guaranteeing her a spot in the Final Three.
It was crazy that she won that too.
And it was the fashion one. So Julie, it was a TikTok video, and she was switching outfits. Girl, it was made for my sister, bitch.
An eye for fashion, girl.
I remember. Brittany was on her ass too, and it's hilarious how you played in her face. Every single person that tried to speak on Taylor's name got their asses handed to them. Boom. God don't play with Taylor Hale.
He sure don't. He sure don't. It's crazy because she won the Final Four HOH, and I was still stressed because how you get in the Final 3? I mean, how you get in the Final 2,
girl?
How you get in the Final 2?
I was like, well, she can win part 1, part 2.
Girl, it was a lot, but a part of me, I felt like Monty would take her. I wasn't as confident about that.
See, and me and Hannah was like, ain't no way he taking her. We was like, we do not believe Monty's gonna take her because it just felt he was so negative towards her. I honestly thought,
which is why I thought he would take her.
The bonding started, and then he started hating her again.
That's exactly why I knew he would take her because I kept saying he's such a misogynist. Y'all need to know y'all people. Y'all need to know y'all people. With Turner is a man's man, a guy's guy, some may say, and Monty is head honcho misogynist. So any misogynist is gonna just think so lowly of a woman to the fact that he thought he could beat her.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. And he lost terribly. Terrible final speech. I'm not finna hate on this man anymore because I've done it. Hold on.
We have a whole video. Go watch.
We'll watch our video.
9 something.
What is it called? Monty loser. Monty parentheses loser. Taylor. The way that it was just written in the stars.
He was.
For his surname.
8-1.
8-1. Girl, and then Taylor won.
It was so. Now I will say, still terrified because part 1 went around. Monty won. Or was it Turner? Who won part 1?
Don't know.
I believe it was Monty. And Turner won part 2.
It was Monty, and then Turner won part 2.
Now, when Turner, I was like, my sister's not making it part 2. I was like, I'm such a negative Nancy. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, she's not making it part 2, and that's how she can win. Because I was like, if she can't take herself, they're not gonna respect her game. Because we didn't know shit about the jury. The girl. I always thought the jury.
I always thought Joseph was gonna make the girls vote.
And I even said this, and I still stand by the opinion. By the end game, Monty was, as a strategic player, he was doing way better than I think a lot of the players around him. So I felt like they would respect his game.
Luckily, they did not give a fuck.
Well, honestly, if he just wasn't a fucking terrible speech, why are these straight men so bad at giving these speeches? I'm sorry. Like, put some passion in it. Put some pep in your step. I mean, that man got up there and acted like he was fucking drafting an NBA team. Like, what are you talking about? Do you want someone who is a leader to win? Or
and then it was like he wasn't even saying anything that was too
third person.
Yeah,
it's
it was
like,
weird.
Bitch, are you motherfucking? I don't even know who are you trying to be? Jimmy Cricket, like Dr. Seuss, bitch. Tell us why you want to win.
It was giving Dr. Seuss.
You want us to read between the lines, nigga? Like, this was he thought that was camp. He thought that shit ate, and Taylor went and demolished his bitch.
And she ate him up.
Like literally,
and her finale
like I said, I rewatch that all the time. Y'all need to go watch that. If y'all haven't watched it in a while, go watch it now.
I ain't watched it in a while. I gotta watch that.
Watching Taylor, even if you get past the question, just watching her give that final speech. I mean, she knocks that speech out of the park.
Period.
It's like, it was so good. It's like, there's no way. Like, literally, if Taylor played like Victoria Raffaelli and gave that speech, I would still vote her. That's how good that speech was. That is how good that speech was. That was a game-winning speech.
I gotta go rewatch it.
It moves you. It moves you.
Out the way.
She literally tells them in the speech, I'm challenging you to vote me as the winner. Bitch, period. I mean, she explains her game from the start to the end beautifully. I mean, honestly, and explain why she'll be a great representation for the season. Like, I loved it. A great finale. The best, I think, because of the outcome, easily, whether it's the best season or not, best finale. I've never been that gagged in the finale.
That was a really good finale, I will say.
And then she won it all.
That was a really good finale.
Player too. That was a good night.
A great night.
A beautiful night. A Taylor Hale night.
That was a really, really good end. Honestly, her winning America's favorite player. Wow,
that's such a gag.
Nobody won anything.
But no, isn't it like?
And none for you.
And then Taylor did this. And she also, it is this. because she
And
won,
then
but then it's like, okay, American winner. And then it's like, she's still that girl.
It is exactly. Like, I don't know. That was amazing. Honestly, that's the thing. Because maybe the end does eat. The end eats. The finale eats a little bit. Just thinking about it. Every single moment. Even when Julie was like, well, who do y'all think is coming out? Who do y'all think is giving third? And they were like, well, it's not Taylor.
We know that.
And it's like, fuck. And then y'all were right. It's like, honestly, I gotta rewatch that finale because every single moment just ate left, right, up, and down. Like it's all you bitches look stupid. You guys look dumb.
Look dusty, crusty.
You guys look dumb as hell. It was actually crazy. And then Taylor won.
The
sword of the season. Like it's
the sword in the face
crazy.
Of the season.
It's just, it was honestly amazing.
And then she'll be winning BB30.
Period. She was coming out winning BB30. That was honestly a great finale. That thing you might have changed my mind a little bit because after honestly, we went through, nope. I just thought about it.
You thought about it right now? Yeah,
I thought about it. Yeah. I just came. But
it's a good finale, girl.
It's a great finale, and that's the thing. A great end.
Great ending.
And then
great ending to a terrible season.
And that's the thing. That's the last. That's the last.
A terrible experience.
That's the last season, or that's the most recent season for these new house guests coming into BB25. Girl, what is this gonna make them give? Because we saw the effects of BB23 on BB24. The girls we're not black. We don't even like colored.
We're not black. We're OJ.
It was okay. It was giving. We saw Kyle giving. I hate. It's getting a little dark in here. It was a lot.
But that was interesting because and Taylor spoke on this a little bit. And we've talked about this before. Like it's that backlash. It's like when a big universal event happens that's progressive, people want to backlash it. We're experiencing it now. The girls are still mad that Obama won. Bitches are still mad that Obama won. Everything that's happening today is because they're still mad that he won in 2008. Honestly, so that's thing. Let me not get too political, y'all. But but it's tea. So like honestly, comparing BB Can as well. BB Can 9 and then BB23, black people won, black people stayed together, they end up winning. And in both of those second seasons, the exact same thing happened with a white man named Kyle and the grouping of races. But in this third season of BB Can 10, that wasn't a thing at all.
It was out the door, huh?
Well,
it was out the door.
Now we don't know because
from what we saw,
I don't believe anything with race was an issue, honestly. And so I'm hoping that happens in BBUS. I'm also hoping because of look what happened to Kyle. Like if you watch, that's the thing too. BB24 I think is a good social commentary because it's like people did wrong and they got their comeuppance because of it. Yeah. Every single person
every time
that did something negative in that game got a negative consequence.
Down to Monty, babe.
So people watching, like for example, the whole racism, like the races were not working together. So hopefully cookout out the window. That's not happening. You know, you don't have to think on that type of level. And if you do, you go home like Kyle. Because honestly, that's what's going to happen though. You can't put people in the house with this type of diversity and go in with that type of thinking. But that's the guy. They got a small town boy from Utah and was shocked. We're shocked. The thing that's what pisses me off though, because they marketed it as, oh, Carl's a small town 30-year-old man who lives at home with his mom in her basement. And he's going to the big city to learn about new people. And he went in there being racist. And we were all shocked.
Like they literally took the category that racists fit in the most.
Literally, we went from
put him on the show.
Like they were talking about the different diverse backgrounds, and literally his whole shtick was being a small town boy to learn more. Like, girl, okay.
And didn't learn a thing. So next season is going to be interesting. I agree. I don't think it's honestly. I think we done busted open, put up a back. We got the cookout.
That's thing. Cookout, we got a black winner. Backlash, we got a black winner. I mean, bitch, you tried it. Regardless, we're gonna win. So at this
no matter
point,
what,
it really doesn't matter.
It really doesn't matter. I'm very excited. I'm honestly very excited for BB.
I'm ecstatic.
What the fuck is it gonna get?
I think the US serves, and then honestly, for a lot of people. Is a big brother drought because the girls, BB Can didn't happen for a lot of the girls. BB Can did not happen for a lot of the girls. And honestly, even though we covered it, it still feels
it didn't even happen for me. I forgot.
Like what happened, but it's like it does.
It's a fever dream already.
That detachment because of the feeds were not being there. Like, you love some of those people, but it's like, I didn't get to watch the people I love 24/7. So like, I'm not still thinking about them. And it was only a month ago.
I feel more connected to Taylor and Joseph, and that was last year. I do. I'm sorry, and that's because of the feeds. And going to the BBC, I'm excited for the feeds. I haven't seen feeds in a minute.
Like, people keep thinking that BB West is never gonna get rid of feeds. Girl, please. Y'all. We are in America.
We pay for those, babe.
We are in America, y'all. This is capitalism 101, babe. You have to pay for everything you get. They are not gonna. That's literally one of the easiest ways they make money off this show.
Yeah.
Is us signing up for the
our dummy.
And I'm ready to do it. Paramount Plus is already signed
up. I haven't unsubscribed.
I already have Paramount Plus, so they got.
I haven't unsubscribed. I will stay there forever. But yeah, I'm excited, and like you said, the strategy of this new era has been giving. Diversity brings more strategy. It brings great strategy. We got the most well executed alliance for BB23. We got the most flip-flop ass house for BB24. It's a lot going on. So BB25, I'm expecting the strategy base.
We need to split house. You might say that. We need to split house.
It's gonna be. I don't know how that can happen in this new era.
Split would be, girl.
It would be so nasty, girl.
It would be nasty. It would be nasty.
That shit would be.
And I'm hoping we get just a little bit more inclusivity with the players. I mean, I would love if we got a Black trans woman.
Something, babe.
Honestly, because CBS is the way they is, I won't be surprised if we get a transgender house guest this year because of the environment that we're in right now. Last time we got one, it was the environment we were in then. So I honestly would not be shocked if something like that were to happen. But I just hope so. That type of inclusivity, it should always be there. I mean, ever since BB17, we should have been getting the trans house guests.
I agree. And we have not.
That's how things become normalized.
We'll see what they do. We'll see what they do with the castings. Stay tuned because we will be here. Child, we'll be here next Tuesday, actually. Period. Make sure y'all comment y'all thoughts. How do y'all feel about BB24? It's been a year. So how do you feel now? Boom. Also comment what y'all want us to cover because we're going to continue to be giving coverages for these next couple of weeks until Big Brother starts. So comment what y'all want us to talk about or whatever. Period. Make sure y'all like and make sure y'all follow us everywhere at Reality Kingdom or whatever. Lee, let's see how you feeling. You got anything else you want to say? Or we out?
I'm feeling good. We out, girl. First video down, bitch. We're back.
Period. Period. We